All right. Hi. Welcome back, Attorney Steve Vondra, and welcome to another exciting episode. We are talking in this video about a class action complaint against the Kardashian, Kimberly Kardashian, and others. Floyd Mayweather, you know him, the boxer. Paul Pierce, the former basketball player, former boxer, and some does, and some executives of a crypto token coin company. So I want to go over this with you. These are general allegations. These are not proven. Allegations are not evidence. Everybody's presumed to be innocent. So let's start with that. But here you have it. This is a class action complaint. That means there is a class of people suing these defendants, and you'll usually see that here individually and on behalf of others similarly situated. And what happens, or you have class actions typically in the crypto space would be maybe where you have a lot of people that lost $5,000 or $2,000, and you can't really afford a lawsuit, so you put it together in a class action complaint. But let's take a look at the allegations in here, and let's take a closer look. So I'm going to go more to the nature of the case. A plaintiff brings this action on behalf of all investors who purchased Etherium Max, Etherium Max tokens. Now, these are not to be confused with Ethereum, and I think that's part of the problem, is that it is confusing with Ethereum, which is the number 2 largest token, I think, in the world. I don't want to say the world, but at least in the United States. So Ethereum. So it's very similar to the name. That's number 1. But let's call them EMAX tokens, people who purchased between this date range, May 14, 2021 and June 27, 2021. So May, June, we're talking about a 2-month period. The case arises from a scheme amongst various individuals in the cryptocurrency section to misleadingly promote and sell the digital asset associated with Etherium Max, the EMAX tokens, to unsuspecting investors. The company's executives, collaborating with several celebrity promoters, that's your Kardashian, Floyd Mayweather, Paul Pierce. By the way, they're represented by some big firms, what we call big law, Fenwick West, King and Spalding, and Kardashian is represented by Cooley. So, but basically saying that they were working in collaboration, made false or misleading statements to investors about Etherium Max through social media advertisements and other promotional activities, and disguise their control over Etherium Max and a significant percent of the EMAX tokens that were available for public trading during the relevant period, the float. In furtherance of this scheme, defendants touted the prospects of the company and the ability for investors to make significant returns due to the favorable tokenomics of the EMAX tokens. In truth, defendant marketed EMAX tokens to investors so that they could sell their portion of the float for a profit. Defendant's strategy was success. Defendant's strategy was a success. Let's say that. The misleading promotions and celebrity endorsements were able to artificially increase the interest in and price of the EMAX tokens during the relevant period, causing investors to purchase these, losing investments at inflated prices. In addition, the executive defendants disguised their control of Etherium Max to avoid scrutiny and facilitate the scheme. The executive defendants then conspired with the promoter defendants to sell their EMAX tokens to investors for a profit. So it's a class action. Here's a little bit more about the parties. Plaintiff is a citizen of New York. You got defendant Steve Gentile, resident of Connecticut. Defendant Giovanni Perrone from Florida. Defendant Justin French from South Carolina. Those are the executive defendants. And you have defendant Kimberly Kardashian of Hidden Hills, California. She acted allegedly here as a promoter for Etherium Max and EMAX tokens. 11, defendant Floyd Mayweather in Las Vegas, Nevada, living the good life in Las Vegas. Defendant Paul Pierce, resident of California, Inglewood, California. Okay. So we got some John Doe defendants and whatnot. I'm not going to go over the jurisdiction. If you want to pause it, you can read that. They claim there's controversy exceeding $5 million. Okay. Venue allegation. But let's take a look. The EMAX token these are the factual allegations. The EMAX token is a speculative digital token created by a mysterious group of cryptocurrency developers, including but not limited to the executive defendants. In particular, the EMAX tokens are blockchain-based digital assets known as ERC20 tokens that are created using the Ethereum blockchain. After an ERC-20 token is created, it can be traded, spent, or otherwise transacted with. The EMAX tokens were primarily traded against Ether, the native currency of Ethereum blockchain network, on Uniswap and other decentralized exchanges that allow anyone to list a token. And I'm going to do a video about just how easy it is to create a token. I think people think it's super complicated. It's really not. So make sure to subscribe to our channel to get those good updates. You're going to learn things here you're not going to learn elsewhere. Number 19, on May 14th, the defendants launched the EMAX tokens with a transaction volume of 16 million. So this was on May 14th. 2021, and a price of 0.000000 according to the data from CoinMarketCap. That's the site I use to track it. That's a good site to track crypto prices. At the time of launch and throughout the relevant period, the EMAX tokens were not sold pursuant to a white paper. White papers in cryptocurrency are documents released by the founders of the project, gives investors technical information about its concept and a roadmap for how it plans to grow and seed. So the white paper many times will create like a use case and tell you why the currency is valuable and it's needed and it has utility, and that's kind of the concept. Again, here, Etherium Max has no connection to the second largest currency, Ethereum. Name association appears to be an effort by the company and the executive defendants to mislead investors into believing that EMAX tokens were part of the Ethereum network when they are not. I agree, that is very misleading in the fact that I would think the same thing. It would be akin to marketing a restaurant as McDonald's Max when it has, maybe you need to make a McDonald's coin when it had no affiliation with McDonald's. Okay, so let's finish 21. Subsequently, the company did release a white paper in October 21 entitled Etherium Max Disrupt History, which explained the business model for Etherium Max and described its activities during the relevant period. According to the company, we launched EMAX with a vision to bridge the gap between the emergence of community-driven tokens and the well-known foundational coins of crypto, creating a unique token that provides lifestyle perks with financial rewards and incentives to holders with a pathway for practical long-term use in everyday life. The founders' approach to bridging this gap was to simplify the complex and instill confidence through a trusted circle that can provide guidance and instill trust. It sounds all good and fluffy. 23, in plain terms, Ethereum Max's entire business model relies on using constant marketing and promotional activities, often from trusted celebrities, to dupe potential investors into trusting the financial opportunities available with EMAX. The white paper was reviewed by ICO Law, a law firm located in LA. The company later even bragged in its white paper that its expertise in marketing strategy and managing relationships was a key area for Ethereum Max's successful promotional efforts in the preceding 6 months. Each week, we track and analyze our marketing efforts to make sure strategic modifications to optimize engagement for week-over-week improvements and impact. If we can do all this in less than 6 months, imagine what the future holds. The best is yet to come. All right, so that's kind of the promotional side. Here's what they call the pump. Promoter defendants shill Ethereum Max. As a subsequently released white paper knowledge, the executive defense actively recruited and retained the promoter defendants to serve as the promoters for the launch of the EMAX tokens in May 2021. Upon information and belief, the promoter defendants received EMAX tokens. So the promoter defendants received EMAX tokens and or other forms of consideration, all as part of their compensation for promoting Ethereum Max. Now, this is alleged on information and belief. It means they really don't know, but it's kind of what they think. The promoter defendants are sophisticated public figures with familiarity and experience with endorsement contracts. On May 26, 2021, NBA player and television personality defendant Paul Pierce promoted Ethereum Max in a widely discussed post on his social media platform Twitter during an online dispute that he was having with ESPN. And Paul Pierce, I think he has like 4 million Twitter followers. I mean, so that is significant if you think about it, how many people they can reach. Prior to the May 26 post, defendant Price had worked for ESPN as a sports analyst and commentator until he was fired for an unrelated video he had previously posted to his social media account. After his firing, defendant Pierce publicly slammed ESPN, conversely praising Ethereum Max's ability to make money for him at the same time. So here's his Twitter post. ESPN, I don't need you. I got Ethereum Max. I made more money with this crypto in the past month than I did all with y'all in a year. Truth shall set you free. My own boss. EtheriumMax.org. Check it out for yourself. So that was a post. Apparently did not have the word ad on it, which usually when you're a social media influencer, you want to make sure you have the word ad on there, letting everybody know. That same day, Etherium Max issued a press release announcing it was now the exclusive cryptocurrency accepted for online ticket purchasing for the highly anticipated Floyd Mayweather versus Logan Paul pay-per-view event, June 26 in Miami Gardens, Florida. The press release directed investors seeking more information to visit the company's social media accounts and the Fight website at this domain. The Fight website featured defendant Mayweather and offered various incentives for those purchasing online tickets with EtheriumMax tokens, including orders over $5,000 will receive authentic, signed Floyd Mayweather boxing gloves, 2 front row ringside tickets available exclusively for Etherium Max purchase. All Etherium Max purchases receive a 10% discount at the checkout. Okay. What else? The trading volume for the EMAX token exploded as a result of defendant Pierce's post and the company's announcement that it was partnering with defendant Mayweather. So they were aligning with celebrities. On May 26, 2021, the volume reached 44.43 million, almost 5 times higher than the previous day. Then on May 27th, the volume doubled, reaching $107 million. On May 28th, Ethereum released a similar press release entitled Etherium Max Disrupts Miami ahead of Mayweather versus Paul fight at the first cryptocurrency of major nightclubs LIV and Story. The press release came out of LA and highlighted the previous Mayweather release and quoted defendant Pierce's tweet verbatim. On June 4th, former world champion boxer defendant Floyd Mayweather Jr. attended the Bitcoin 2021 conference in Miami. While there, instead of discussing the cryptocurrency that was the focus of the conference, i.e. Bitcoin, defendant Mayweather promoted Etherium Max. In particular, he and his entourage wore t-shirts with Etherium Max emblazoned across the chest. At the same time, defendant Mayweather proclaimed during a panel discussion, I believe there's going to be another cryptocurrency just as large as Bitcoin someday. 2 days later, on June 2nd, 2021, defendant Mayweather similarly promoted Etherium Max during his highly viewed exhibition boxing match with internet celebrity turned boxer Logan Paul. Between June 4th and June 6th, the trading volume for EMAX spiked from 15.7 million to 24.5 million. On June 8th, executive defendants Gentile and Peroni, along with Josh James, the lead developer at Etherium Max, uploaded a video of themselves on YouTube entitled Addressing the Dollar EMAX Community. Etherium Max defendants Gentile and Peroni identified themselves as the creators of Etherium Max and explained that Mr. James had recently joined Etherium Max as its new lead developer. Defendant Peroni described his appearance in the hedge fund space and had significant experience structuring nuanced securitizations and financing arrangements, and he touted Etherium Max as something special with real sustainability. Defendant Peroni also stated that they were able to forge a landmark agreement with the Mayweather team and reassured investors that regarding the volatility in the EMAX token price. Defendant Gentile further stated that Ethereum's Max's work with launching ambassadorships and working with influencers was not solely in preparation for the Mayweather fight, but rather the launch point with great prospects moving forward. Defendant Gentile also noted that his background involved specialties revolved around marketing and brand development, that he exclaimed that Etherium Max was a super exciting project and that he was excited for the updates that he would be rolling out in the near future. Defendant Gentile claimed that it was going to be beneficial not only to the token, but more importantly, the community. During a pseudo question and answer portion of the video, defendant Gentile brought up investors' questions about a rug pull. You hear about this a lot in crypto, rug pull of the EMAX token, and asked defendant Peroni to nip it in the bud. Defendant Peroni stressed that the Etherium Max team was in for the long term, stating, among other things, that the executive defendants were looking to lock the wallets to show investors they were here to stay. On June 14th, reality television personality defendant Kim Kardashian posted the following solicitation for Etherium Max on her Instagram, which has over 250 million followers. I think now she has almost 285 million. Talk about growing the base. Are you guys into crypto? This is not financial advice, but sharing what my friends just told me about Etherium Max token. A few minutes ago, Etherium Max burned 400 trillion tokens, literally 50% of their admin wallet, giving back to the entire Emax community. Hashtag Emax, a hashtag disrupt history, hashtag Etherium Max, hashtag WTF Emax, hashtag this and that, swipe up. So, as noted in the scathing op-ed piece called Celebrity Crypto Shilling is a moral disaster, defendant Kardashian's post was an immediate sensation and a touch controversial. The Emax token was only a month old. Few had heard of it, and it wasn't even obvious how the token was supposed to work. More than that, Kardashian was urging her 250 million Instagram followers to get involved in a highly volatile, speculative market that's a little different than gambling in the world's most fraudulent casino. That's quite an allegation. Defendant's Kardashian promotion had tremendous reach. The financial services company Morning Consult analyzed the impact of celebrity on crypto investor decisions, and in particular, the impact of defendant Kardashian's Etherium Max post. The survey found up to 20% of all American adults, nearly half of all cryptocurrency owners, had seen this ad for a risky financial instrument. Furthermore, defendant's Kardashian conversion also was impressive. A striking 19% of respondents who said they heard about the post invested in Etherium Max as a result. That's what we call pull. That's why people pay the big bucks, and they say that Kardashian gets somewhere between 500 grand or up to $1 million, probably more, per post. So the chair of the Financial Conduct Authority in the United Kingdom, Charles Randall, in a September 6, 2021 speech given at the Cambridge International Symposium on Economic Crime, remarked that defendant Kardashian's Ethereum post was the financial promotion with the single biggest audience reach in history. So think about that coverage, folks. Instant credibility, instant notoriety, and that's what they're alleging here. 44. Notably, defendant Kardashian's post did include a promotional disclosure. That's good. However, that's FTC requirement, Federal Trade Commission. However, this disclosure is tucked in far bottom right of the post and is just 3 characters long. Hashtag ad. So while it is unclear the precise terms of the financial compensation that defendant was given by the executive defendants, defendant Kardashian routinely gets paid between $300,000 and $1 million for most promotional posts. Man, I'm in the wrong business. Defendant Kardashian even stated she makes more money off these promotions than she does an entire season of her reality show. Boy, that's big bucks to post, and that's probably why so many kids want to do it. Defendant Kardashian also has experience and familiarity with making misleading claims and similar promotional endorsements on her Instagram and Twitter accounts. For example, in 2015, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, that's FDA, ordered defendant Kardashian to remove a post she had made with a strikingly similar beginning to the Etherium Max post at issue. OMG, have you heard about this? As you guys know, my morning sickness has been pretty bad. I tried, and there's a link there, and looks like she got a good amount of responses on that. Apparently, FDA wanted her to take that down, so they're saying defendant Pierce did not include any promotional disclosure when he tweeted. 47, it does not appear that defendant Mayweather has disclosed any payments either for his promotion of Etherium Max on June 4th and 6th. Defendant Mayweather does have experience with being fined previously over improper cryptocurrency promotion. And as a result, he knew or should have known that his conduct alleged herein was improper. In December 2018, defendant Mayweather and another promoter settled charges with the United States Securities Exchange Commission, that's the SEC, for failing to disclose payments they received for promoting fraudulent cryptocurrency investments. One of the posts at issues there was the defendant Mayweather made on Twitter stating, "You can call me Floyd Crypto Mayweather from now on," and a promotion with a message to his Twitter followers that a company's fraudulent initial coin offering starts in a few hours. Get yours before they sell out. I got mine. As part of the settlement, defendant Mayweather agreed to pay $300,000 in disgorgement, a $300,000 penalty, and $14,775 in prejudgment interest. In addition, defendant Mayweather agreed not to promote any securities, digital or otherwise, for 3 years. The settlement was dated November 29, 2018. meaning that this agreement was blatantly violated in connection with defendant Mayweather's Etherium Max promotion. Defendant Mayweather therefore had an understanding that his own conduct, as well as the conduct of the executive defendants, was improper and fraudulent. So those are real tight, tough allegations. And then we have the dump. So we had the pump, then we had the dump. Following the EMAX token launch and defendants' promotional activities in May 2021, the trading volume and price of Etherium Max surged. By May 30th, EMAX had already had a transaction volume over 100 million, up 632% in just 2 weeks. Think about that. Just incredible amounts of money. The day before it reached its max price, you can see here 0.0000863, which represents a 1,370% more than its initial price of 0.0005875. However, this meteoric rise did not last long. You can look at the chart now. It's pretty much flatlined. The meteoric rise did not last long, and Etherium Max began to deflate immediately after defendant Kardashian's post. On July 15th, the price of EMAX token hit an all-time low, 0.17 per unit, a 98% drop from which it has not been able to recover. On August 1st, its transaction volume plummeted to 157,423, which is less than a hundredth of its initial capital. The promoter defendants improper promotional activities generated the trading volume needed for all the defendants to offload their EMAX tokens onto unsuspecting investors. So they're alleging they got paid and also got compensation in tokens. And so not only would they have got their payment, but also dumping on the market and getting paid whatever they could have got out of that. So some pretty hefty allegations. Plaintiff and class members were buying at the inappropriately promoted EMAX tokens. Defendants were able to and did sell their EMAX tokens during the relevant period for substantial profits. According to defendant Peroni, the executive defendants did not lock their EMAX token wallet until after the relevant period. 52, the EMAX token price is still not recovered and trading volume remains down significantly. Like I said, go to the coin market cap and you'll see it looks like flat lines, what it looks like. As bluntly noted in McKinnon's op-ed, if you bought Etherium Max after Kardashian had pushed it and didn't sell fast enough, all you were left with was practically a worthless digital asset. So that's you can read more if you want. I'm just gonna go to it talks here a little bit about, the class action requirements, numerosity, commonality. If you're in law school and you want to read that, how an allegation for a class action certification goes, this is what you want to read. Typicality, adequacy, you can pause it and look at these if you want. Superiority, class action. So let's just get down to the real quick, and I'll let you go. Violation of the unfair competition laws, B&P 17200 is one of the claims. That's unfair competition. I won't go into the allegations. Violation of the California Consumer Legal Remedies Act. This is a good one. I have a video on that. I'm going to put it down below. If you don't know about the California Consumer Legal Remedies Act and you're in business, you ought to read it and you ought to know about it because it outlaws a lot of different things. And as you can see here, basically a lot of unfair or deceptive acts. But you need to check that out. And so they allege the different activities. You can gather what it's based on here. They also seek punitive damages. Under that, you can see here, punitive damages, plaintiff has complied. Then we have aiding and abetting against the promoter defendants, basically aiding and abetting. I'll let you read that if you want. The restatement second of torts. It's the theory of liability to join other people in liability on certain causes of action. And I think there's one more. Let's see. Unjust enrichment, restitution. You made all this money. It's unjust. It's unjustly enriched. We should be entitled to restitution. There's another claim against all defendants. When you're alleging your causes of action, you say whether it's against all defendants or just one or two. And they're seeking certain things, class action status, all kinds of damages under the sun, including punitive, and seeking a jury trial, jury demand. If you don't ask for a jury trial, you waive it. So you always want to ask for a jury trial. interest and everything else. So there you have it. That's a flavor of the case. This is the Kardashian Max case, I'll call it, and we will keep you posted on it. But typically something like this, if I had to guess, magic ball, it's probably going to settle out of court. And but we'll keep you posted if I hear anything about a settlement. Many times it's confidential, so we don't hear up. But folks, when you're buying crypto, do your own research. Don't always rely on influencers and celeb endorsers, celeb promoters. You got to do your own research, especially where you see something is like an ad that says, this is a paid endorsement, blah, blah, blah. It's a paid endorsement. You got to really do your work and make sure you know what you're doing, especially in this area of crypto and tokens and NFTs, all this stuff. There's so much stuff out there, and people will buy and they will pump their own stuff. Not to say these defendants are guilty of that, but this is what people do. They'll buy and they'll say to the moon, and next thing you know, they're not trying to go to the moon. They're selling, they're dumping after you get in. So be very careful in this area. I know the SEC is looking at some cases like the XRP case. We'll see what's going to happen there. But be very careful in this area. If you're going to invest, make sure you know what you're doing and do your research and get in the know. Don't just rely on things that you hear. Okay, that's my 2 cents. This is not financial advice. This is just my 2 cents. General legal information only. This is not legal advice, but we'll keep you posted on the Kardashian case. Okay, we'll keep you up with the Kardashians. Have a great day. Gotta run. Bye now.